Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy AARM220 bringing you guys my BBL Week 1 Team Builder versus the Flying Bird, coach of your New South Wailmers. Now, Bird and I go pretty far back, back into the days of FBL Season 2, league that is far dead. But I've known Bird for a fair amount of time. I think that Bird and I are pretty close. I'd like to think that at least. Bird also, of course. By the way, if you haven't watched Bird's vids, I highly recommend you go subscribe to Bird. Bird does a lot for me, so I'd like to give back to Bird. If you guys really could, check him out. He has very high quality graphics. For example, the slides that he uses here, well, that I'm using here, he has a version of these. They're like the same, just blue. He commissioned them originally. He said that I can use them because I'm editing his stuff. So I'll be editing that. That's why I'm actually recording this at night, because I'm editing his stuff tomorrow, pretty last second. But hey, we're gonna be doing this. We're covering it. Bird and I'm recording this after the game. But Bird and I had a pretty fun match. You guys will see that tomorrow. In terms of the teams, as you see, my roster is Xerneas, Aegislash, Suicune, Tornadus, Donphan, Como, Sneasel, Musharna, Shelmet, Luxray, Wigglytuff, and Mega Venusaur. And my opponent's roster is Tapu Koko, Zygarde, Hawlucha, Volcarona, Alolan Muck, Shaman, Vullaby, Gothorita, Lapras, Kangaskhan, Palossand, and Mega Metagross. Start off the bat, Bird's team, despite having only one Uber, his team is actually really scary. He managed to get Koko, Zygarde, and on top of that, Volcarona. So Volcarona and Zygarde are already two very threatening setup sweepers and offer a lot for each other. In addition to that, he also has Koko Lucha, which is very good as well. And throw a Mega Metagross in there, because why not? In terms of my team, as you can see, the first one that I brought was a Specs Xerneas this week. My Specs Xerneas is at 156 speed. This allows it to outspeed. I believe I kept for Adam and Zygarde. Yeah, I kept for Adam and Zygarde with this. I have choice specs with Moonblast, Rock Slide, Aromatherapy, Defog. 92 HP, of course. That's just leftover bulk. I just want to hit as hard as possible. I have Rock Slide in the spread as well for Volcarona, because Volcarona would be one of his two mons I could switch in on this. I sadly would be hitting Mega Metagross with like a hidden power to actually hit it well. And even then, I actually hit it fairly well with Moonblast anyway, because of the Fairy Aura. So I don't mind just clicking Specs Moonblast versus it. I believe, assuming he's not a really fat Metagross, I do a KO. So that, of course, is a really nice benefit. We do have, in general, just really nice Xerneas this week. I feel like overall it puts in a ton of work versus my opponent. Next up, we have what I would consider be our win con. We have Como with Dragonium Z. I have Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Outrage. While I could have brought another coverage move, I decided to go with Z Outrage, because Z Outrage will, +1 will blow through his team, +2, I don't think he has a switch into that besides like Mega Metagross, but I don't think it takes it well anyway. Of course Como, but Como is really frail. And a +2, I'm invested to outspeed Scarf Koko, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I sped crept Scarf Koko with this at +2. I forget what the +2 was for, not gonna lie. But I do remember that I, at the very least, wanted to outspeed all of the Scarfers that I thought would come. I wanted to outspeed things like +1 Volcarona, +1 Zygarde. I wanted to outspeed, I forget what actually sped crept speed-wise. I'm pretty sure, as I said, I sped crypted for Scarf Koko, but I could very well be wrong. I'm blanking now, not gonna lie. Because looking at the spread, oh no, you know what I sped crypted for? I sped crypted for Adam and Zygarde. I sped crypted a lot of my mons for Adam and Zygarde. I keep forgetting that, but yeah. Because Adam and Zygarde will only hit 150 speed, we hit it would hit 148, we hit 149 with our spread. Simple as that. The coverage hits the team really well in general. He has no one that wants to take Ground plus Dragon in his entire roster. So that is already a phenomenal thing for Como. In general, this thing puts in a lot of work this week. Next up, we have Aegislash. With the Iron Ball this week, I have King Shield, Gyro Ball, Shadow Ball, and Rock Slide. Wow, I can't talk. I have 148 in attack. This 148 in attack allows me to guarantee hits that I need to, such as Gyro Ball versus Koko can guarantee Oko. I believe I 2-KO Alolan Muck as well, if I'm not mistaken. I know at the very least my Rock Slide will guarantee take out Volcarona, of course, as well. That was another thing I wanted to make sure I took out Volcarona guaranteed with Rock Slide. Mega Metagross is still 2-KO by Shadow Ball, even without special attack. Palossand is still 2-KO'd. I didn't overly think Kangaskhan was coming, which is why I have Sacred Sword, and I did have enough that handled it well anyway, such as Specs Xerneas, for example. I had a Como that still did a lot to it, even with just like the Z Outrage, for example, if I really needed to. I have a few mons out, saw in the back, so I really didn't see Kangaskhan as an issue, which would be the mon that would arguably take hits the best besides Vullaby. Volibee is just an issue in itself for my Aegis Slash, but I do have at least ways around that. I think the Volibee could actually very well come as one, a potential defogger, so I think Coco or Hawlucha don't need to run defog for Volcarona to sweep, and two, because it's probably arguably one of the better Aegis Slash counters in format. It's by no means the best Aegis Slash counter, but it's arguably one of the better ones, in all honesty. It's got really nice bulk. Violet, of course, helps. Roost, of course, helps as well. Foul Play is really nice. So he could arguably bring that to help with the Aegis Slash issue. Of course, he does have a Volcarona in his Zygarde, so I don't know how much he's really worrying about an Aegis Slash. And Mega Metagross does 2 KO anyway. I can run a Max Vizdef Mega Metagross. I could have ran a Max Vizdef Aegis Slash, he would 2 KO with Earthquake. So, wasn't going to necessarily try and just invest just to take on hits from Mega Metagross. I figured I could take one hit. I can overall hit it really hard with Shadow Ball. My speed is also, so that way then I underspeed everything on his team. That is very important because when he has 2 dark types, if I really need to pick one of them off, if let's say one of them lives just barely, I'm not letting them foul play me for free that turn and killing me, or knocking me off that turn for free and killing me. I would rather underspeed them and just hit as hard as I can. Also, Gyro Ball, of course, is going to hit harder versus his team in general. So I figured, why not? In general, that's really for Aegis Slash. Next up, I have Donphan with the Eye of Papa Berry with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rapid Spin, and Roar. I have 252 HP. This is just for overall bulk, 84 defense. This Vizdef is for Mega Metagross, it's for Zygarde, etc. The 100 Spidef, that's for Coco and Volcarona as well. I have 44 in speed. This is just to outspeed things like Alolan Muck, for example, as I don't want, I believe it's for Alolan Muck. Yeah, it's for Alolan Muck. I didn't want it to outspeed my my Donphan knocking off my Berry. I figured that if I can kill that off very quickly, that's great for me, of course. Roar's, I have Roar in 3 wands this week. This is the first one, being just a way to clear his setup, because I figure the Volcarona, of course, if I have my Sturdy broken, he could potentially use that to maybe pick me off, and then, actually, maybe not Volcarona, but at least Zygarde, if it is trying to set up a sub on me, and then sub Coil, for example, I can Roar it out, I guarantee take a hit from it, I can Chew versus it, so that's a nice benefit, of course. I do have a couple other ones that are more so meant to Roar at Volcarona. This also helps with Hawlucha as well, because Hawlucha is, again, another scary mon. It's not the most scary. I do have an Aegis Slash, of course, so Hawlucha is kind of a non-issue for me, because Aegis Slash will always beat it. But Aegis Slash is so pressured versus his team. Anyway, I wanted a backup answer that wasn't also really pressured, and Suicune was also really pressured as well, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But because of that, I figured the Donphan with Roar, between Zygarde and Hawlucha, had plenty of merit, in my opinion. And I only really needed Earthquake this week, because his mons that are immune, being Volibee and Hawlucha, unless I'm going to bring Toxic, I don't touch them anyway. So I figured this was my best play. Next up, I have Mega Venusaur. I had the Venusaur, of course, with Roar, Giga Drain Synthesis, and Sludge Bomb. You may notice a fair 92 in attack. This was because originally on my spread over Roar, I had Earthquake, and I forgot to take them out. I had them for Alolan Muck to hit that well. I still have spread even with the minus speed nature. Sadly, though, I was stupid and forgot to take the 92 out of attack, and I facepalmed as I was making the slide, because I didn't even realize it when it gened it in. I didn't realize it in the game. I realized it when I was making the Teambuilder slide, literally the day before this goes up. So it took me a while. It took me way too long to figure that out. The 44 Vizdef, that's just in general for hits from Zygarde, for example. Also for physical Coco, if it's not going to be Flying EMZ, for example. What is it? Coco can't be Z. I believe this is just for Coco in general, because as I said, it can't be Z this week. So that, of course, is really nice. I believe I can even take a single hit from Hawlucha, if I'm not mistaken. I remember running calcs for it. I can't remember if I ultimately decided with the spread that took a single hit from Hawlucha. I would need to be pretty high up, to be fair. But I can take a single hit. My special defense is to take hits from Volcarona. I can actually live a +1 hit as long as it's not Z. If it's Fire EMZ, I can live it on a roll. If it's Psyche EMZ, I can never live. Assuming that's after Rocks, that is. My Roar is, for one, Volcarona, because I figured he's going to set up on me, and I could take that opportunity to roar him out. And then when he asks why I actually stayed in versus him, it's because I EV for it. Because I know if I did that, Bird would be questioning me after the game for it. Roar is also for Zygarde, of course. This thing can roar Zygarde away and then just synthesis back up after taking a hit if he did decide to go and just click an attack. Regardless, though, this is another just phaser this week. It also works really nice versus, like, for example, the Coco. It's one of my Shaman answers as well, because my team actually, besides Xerneas, actually struggles a lot with Shaman. But even though Shaman can still do a fair amount to my Mega Venusaur, of course, with like Psychic after getting a Spinef drop, that does a ton of damage. I can't recover on that at the -2. So I have to be really careful with Shaman. Next up, and finally, we have Suicune with, again, a Rindo Berry. This is, unlike the Rindo Berry, well, I actually forgot. I was gonna say again on Rindo Berry, but I forgot that I changed the Rindo Berry and Donphan for Ayapapa last second, which is, again, it was a better way to handle all the setup threats and to keep it healthy as possible. I put Rindo Berry in Suicune though. This is for Grassing Z Volcarona. I have Roar, Protect, Waterfall, and Ice Beam. I have the Waterfall in this spread because this isn't meant to roar out Volcarona. This is meant to OHKO after rocks against Volcarona with Waterfall. So I have Waterfall, of course, because if he Quiver Dances up, then obviously I can no longer actually take a hit from... Well, I can no longer, like, touch Volcarona with that Waterfall. So after rocks, it's always will OHKO at +1. I'm doing less with the Hydro Pump than I would have been, unless if I was, like, really offensive Suicune. So that is something to note as well. And even then, Hydro Pump can miss. Waterfall doesn't miss, so that's always great, unless he's like Bright Powder Volcarona for some reason. Which in that case, shoutouts to Bird, you deserve the win if you actually hit a Bright Powder successfully. I have Ice Beam for Zygarde, and Roar is mainly for Hawlucha on the Suicune, but it also, of course, is nice for the Zygarde if it is behind, like, let's say, a sub, for example. I can't roar out the Volcarona, though, as I said, after rocks, I'm most likely just going to kill it off, to be honest. That's really it, though, for the team this week. The 124 Fizdef, as I said, for physical threats, special threats. The rest was just thrown into special attack. I had to special defense, I mean, the 36. But that's really it for our team this week. If you guys want, make sure to check out the game tomorrow versus Bird. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like down below. Tell me what you guys think is going to happen in this game. And until then, I will see you guys later. Peace out.